Hello and welcome to the Halo 2 review. It's Halo 2 Anniversary Edition played on the Xbox SX, and we're going to get into the good, the bad, the ugly, and the Halo. The Halo of it all, shall we say. Quite a controversial sequel for reasons we'll get into in the main part of the video. This is a small wee hi, how you doing? Welcome to my slice of the internet. Hope you liked the last format and the way I did it. I've not heard anything to the contrary, so we're just going to go on with it, shan't we? We'll just continue with what we're doing. I have to reiterate this.
There will be spoilers!
Yes, there will be spoilers galore. Right, now we've got all that pish out the way. Without further ado, let's get on with the video, shall we? Alright, Moan. Okay, so we'll continue talking about this game. So, this is Halo 2, which is the sequel to Halo Combat Evolved. You know, just in case you were confused or anything like that. No, I actually call myself fucking Sherlock. Sherlock Holmes, at your service. Anyway, game was released in 2004 for the original Xbox. It went on to sell over 8 million units and was released for the PC in 2007. Don't know how good that man was. And then again as an anniversary edition for the Master Chief collection for the Xbox One in 2014, which they still haven't fucking fully fixed. This game also had a troubled development. Most of us of the correct age, you know, us old bastards, will probably remember the thing from 2000 and, well, wherever they fucking showed the E3 thing. Must have been 3 or 2002 or something. Sergeant Johnson comes stoating onto the stage and is like, there'll be no fucking smoke and mirrors bullshit in this demo, which is kind of funny because that's really all it was a demo that had no game attached to it. Didn't run on the original Xbox. In fact, they found that the Halo 2 they actually made didn't work on the original Xbox. Had to start again. So what you saw at E3 was all lies, or at the very worst it was proof of concept, but when they're like, this is a real demo, this is all happening, lying bastards, man. So that was kind of funny. So we got another rushed out the door Halo game. The first one was rushed out the door and all, which is a testament to the dev's talents because it's still an absolutely fantastic game that I still highly recommend everyone goes out and plays, even for the, you know, the educational side of it, to see how things were back then. Okay, good.
Extract the chief and return to an amberclad.
Roger that.
Right, so what am I yammering on about now? Right, you go 2 characters this time, Master Chief and a Covenant called the Arbiter. This was quite the controversial move for Bungie. No one really wanted to play as the bad guys, let alone some no-mark elite that was supposed to be the chapter master of his big fucking Covenant fleet that get blown to bits, right? I remember looking back and hearing the complaints, and I thought it was no bad, but nobody really liked it. They should have done this for maybe the 3rd game, but in all honesty, the Arbiter had some different abilities, so he wasn't too bad. Like a cloaking device, that's about really it, to be honest. Other than that, they played pretty much the same. All the factions are pretty much the same as well, same as the first game. Look, I'm going to try and just go into the new stuff that wasn't in the game before. I'm not going to go over too much of the stuff that was already in the first game that makes a reappearance, okay? So we'll keep it to the new shit. Covenant now have the brutes, but you don't fight them till far near the end of the game, which is fine because they're a pain in the arse. Speaking of pains in the arse, you get wee green flying things called drones. I don't really think that's a good name, but does the job, eh? And I effing hate the fuckers. They can take a good few hits, they fly about all over the place like blue arse flies, and they just generally annoy the piss out of me. New Covenant motors are the 3-seated troop carrier thing called a Spectre, and in single player I don't really use this one at all because, well, not that great to be honest with you. You can control the Wraith this time, but you need to be really lucky to get a hold of it. You can use your Banshees and Ghosts, they've got boosts now. The Banshee can also do wee mad tricks in the air to avoid fire, like a Star Fox game, remember that? Remember when Star Fox was good? You can also pick up the fuel rod cannon this time, yes! And the lightsaber inspired energy sword. The energy sword is very useful for the Flood. Fungi bastards, but at least they're fun, you know what I mean? The brutes have the brute shot, which is like a grenade shotgun launcher thing that has a big bastard blade on the back end of it, which is also great for dealing with the old floody boys, but it doesn't run out of charge like your fucking energy jobby. Imagine you throwing a big energy jobby at them, that's it. Right, the brutes also have their own plasma gun. It's just a red version of the elite one, right, but it fires that little bit faster and is a lot more powerful, and they're much fun to dual wield. Let me put that fucking brilliant. But like I say, they overheat like fuck. So actually, one of my favourite new guns that Covenant have got is the carbine. It's a mid to long range plasma DMR. The DMR doesn't appear to Halo Reach, but we'll let that one slide, right? I use this gun quite often. It's a lot of fun. Go and have one, shoot it to the face and all that shit. Not very good against the Flood, but then again plasma guns never really were. There is this Scarab tank thing that you'll see at the beginning of the game. You don't get to control them in any. In fact, I don't think you get to control them in any game, which is kind of key. But it's barely really in it. Wee bit at the beginning, wee bit at the end. Is it at the end? Aye, so it is. I forgot about that. It's the fucking Arbiter and his pal that's got half his jaw ripped off. Aye, that's you just have to protect it. A protect mission at the end of the game. Oh, by the way, the ending's shite. Right, let's go for new guns, right? New guns, the battle rifle replaces the assault rifle, and the SMG is the only machine gun-like weapon the humans have. Which is alright. Battle rifle's no bad. Can sometimes take a wee bit to bring an elite down with it, but it's okay. It's a burst fire gun. I wish you could actually turn it into a single shotgun, but never mind. The Magnum's back, even though I said I wasn't going to talk about games and guns and motors and grenades and jobbies from the first game, but here we go. It's lost its zoom, right? In fact, it never gets it back. I was playing Halo 3 the other day and it's like, there's no zoom in here either, you prick. Anyway, what else? There's a new Gauss cannon in the Warthog, but good luck getting the AI to drive in a fucking straight line so you can fire the bastard. The SMG, like many of the Covenant guns, can be dual wielded. Aye. It's only a thing in Halo 2 is it's really overpowered and can tank the farting frame rate. Sentinels also have a bigger presence in this game, which I quite like. You can shoot them down like you did in the first one, but only this time you can pick up the little beam thing. And there's two versions. There's the yellow one, which is no bad, and then there's the blue one, which is pretty fucking awesome, and that's the one you really want. There's also like a flying tank thing they've got now. I don't know what it's called. It's got 3 shields in the front of it, and it will fire rocket salvos, and it's got double red plasma guns. And they're slow, and they're kind of stupid. And I like to shoot the arms off them, because you can take them apart a little bit before they explode. Really, you run underneath them. It doesn't take an awful lot to
destroy these bastards.
Did you like my wee stutter there? No, I didn't either. Fucking annoying. Been doing it a lot more recently as well. Can't believe this shit. What was I talking about? Aye, salvo rockets. Carbine's probably the best thing to take them out with. Salvo rockets? Aye, the things that the Sentinels were firing, remember? Oh aye. The Flood, These wallopers, I hate fighting the flood. They're a pain in the fucking arse, okay? And they've got a grave mind now. And I'm like, what the fuck's a grave mind now? I remember when this originally came out, when you get to the grave mind and it's like a cabbage. A cabbage with tentacles. Looks a lot better now that Blur got a hold of the old a hold of the old cinematics, and they made them very nice. Yes, Blur Studio that done the cinematics. They made them very nice. I'll show you something. You want to see some of the hell mind, grave mind, you prick. Aye, Moan, let's have a look at the bastard.
What is that?
To all your sins.
Relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off.
Demon. This one is machine and nerve, and has its mind concluded. This one is but flesh and faith, and is the more deluded. Kill me or release me, parasite. But do not waste my time with talk. There is much talk, and I have listened through rock and metal and time. Now I shall talk, and you shall listen.
Right, levels and difficulty and other pish, like bugs in that, and this game is actually rife with them. And it's like, what? Game for 2004, ported in 2014, it's now 2021, and it still doesn't run properly. When you start the game up and you're on that fucking station, and the chief dude's like, I think it's Lord Hood his name is, I don't know, aye, cool. He's like, go and fucking beat these guys up, and you go down to the planet after a wee while, and then you get a tank, and you're going across a bridge, and the frame rate just goes boom, fucking tanks at times. No pun intended when I say you're on a tank and the frame rate tanks. Do you like that? And it's just really noticeable and really, really annoying, and it's quite frequent in that section. And I've had other areas with a level called Quarantine and the one before Quarantine. The frame rate is just, what is going on? 343, come on now, get it together, troops. Fucking hell, you're an embarrassment at this stage. Alright, I don't really have a favourite level though. Moving on from the bugs swiftly. Another bug I had, it was a belter I put up on Twitter, with the you're on Delta Halo and you're fighting the Covenant, and then this Phantom flies in and just disappears. Goes, disappears. Missed the fight. They're supposed to drop down 2 hunters and you fight them, and the whole thing just skips. It's really fucking weird. And I'm not really bothered about missing the battle because the hunters can be a right pain in the tolly hole, you know, but at the same time it's kind of like, what the farting hell jobby is happening here? Why is your game missing sections because of bugs? Those aren't bugs, that's like ripped out unfinished code. Did you have to rebuild the thing from the fucking ground up? And this happens, as I say, quite a few times through the game. Not acceptable. Not acceptable. It's not a game killer. It's not. I'm not going to say, well, don't play this game, but at the same time, I'm kind of annoyed and a bit scurred with it, because it's the kind of thing that can get you killed. It kind of ruins the enjoyment at the time. You get right in it and it stutters and fucking farts about, and I just jobby. It's a lot of jobby. Anyway, what the hell are we talking? We'll talk about levels a wee bit now, right?
the bump.
Possibly make any more noise? I guess so.
Well, like I say, I don't have a favourite. I mean, there's a lot of levels that I like. I like most of the levels more than the first game because they don't tend to repeat themselves. The library is here again. Like I said, the library, it looks a bit better, but it's still shite. Hate it. It's just a pain in the arse to get through as well, because you find yourself just getting totally overwhelmed. So if you stop and try to smell the roses and take in the sights, you'll get fucked quite hard. And it's the checkpoints are another thing in this game that kind of glitched. Going back to glitches and bugs, right? And it's just like it'll trigger at 1 minute, then you'll get flung back quite far, and I'm like, what happened? It's like 20 minutes of gameplay went by and it didn't checkpoint because maybe you deviated from the you know, the linear path. It's a linear game, but maybe you jumped in like a window ledge or something, and it's like, fuck you, we're not having that. No checkpoint for you, you prick. It's annoying, and it happened a couple of times, but you know, it is what it is. Other levels that I like, Quarantine Zone, that was a good level. Delta Hill was a good level. Basically any level you can go in a vehicle and pretty much have a good time. The Banshees and the Heretic level when you're going against the Heretics, but even though they're not really heretics because they're telling the truth. The prophets, they're the bastard and heretics. The boss fights, though, they're shite. You fight the prophet of regret, I think it is. It's the funniest thing ever because you can actually jump onto his wee floating chair thing and just punch him to death. It's stupid looking as fuck, but it's funny. So what the fuck? Like, look at that stupid wee button. He goes, and then it's like, then they tank. They come in and they tank the area with this big massive salve of gunfire, and the Master Chief ends up in the drink and getting dragged away by tentacles. All the hentai folk will be fucking salivating at the thought of tentacles in the game. Tentacle! Never mind. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So you get a wee talking to for Gravemind, and he's like, you're a bunch of pricks, but this metal guy over here, he's not quite as big as a prick as, you know, 4 George Face Fanny, fucking Predator ripoff over here. Mr. fucking Sang Healy and all that pish, you know. It's like, right, cool, you go and destroy some shite and you go and destroy the other shite. Basically, the Gravemind's trying to stop him. The activation of the Halo ring, and there's like, well, if the Halo ring does activate, you're all dead anyway, so it's like, well, you might as well fucking stop it, you know what I mean? The boss fight with Tartarus at the end. Tartarus is the chieftain of the brutes. No, I'm not really quite sure how I won that one. It just kind of happens by chance. You need to wait for his wee shield to bugger off, and then you just kind of shoot him, and it's kind of anticlimactic, and then the whole ending's anticlimactic because Bungie fucked it up and basically missed out a part of the game. It was meant to be a bit where you're running along like near the end of the first game, you get the Warthog chase. There's meant to be a Warthog chase at the end of this one as well. You're flying inside a Covenant stolen Forerunner ship, but that doesn't happen, and you just end up inside the ship. I don't know if that's all that was missing, but I'd like to think it was more than that, because it only extended the game like another level, but it has a cliffhanger ending as well. They turn up at Earth again, and Lord Hood's like, "Who the fuck are you doing in that ship?" And the Master Chief's like, "I'm gonna finish this fight, mate, right?" And he's like, "Aye, okay," and then it ends, and you're like, so it was from 2004 to 2007 before we got the conclusion and the ending of the, well, not the ending of the Halo franchises, but it was meant to be the last Halo game. But it wasn't the last Halo game, but it was meant to be. But then they got the whiff of, what's that? Oh, it's money. Oh, we like money. Fucking make more. I'm like, we don't really have anywhere. I don't care if you've nowhere to go, prick. Make more games. Okay, why? Because we like the dollar. End of review. Good night.
Pretty good.
Chief, get inside. Gear up.
We're taking this fight to the surface.